Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone is having an amazing morning. Good morning, Norm. How are you today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I'm great. How are you doing today?
Doing really, really good. Very excited about today. I know we got a lot of good stuff happening in the markets with some earnings season starting or in full swing, better yet said. So
Yep.
looking forward to it. Looking forward to a lot of big companies reporting today, I believe, right? So
Yep.
I already see some good names on here. We got Twitter. I know they were reporting. I know Snap was reporting. Not sure about Twitter, but I know Snap was reporting.
Twitter reported this morning. I think Snap might be tonight. I think Snap could be moving on the Twitter report.
Oh, there it is. That makes perfect sense. And QCOM has been really active the last couple of days. Looking forward to see that. So again, just gonna looking forward to see what kind of moves we get today. Usually during earnings season, you get a lot of great moves, a lot of continuation. We didn't see a lot of that yesterday, except for CGC. We'll go through this watch list we had here yesterday. I mean, CGC was a monster yesterday. You can see on there, it's just taking off nicely. So let's get through our watch list here from yesterday. See what traded well, what didn't trade so well. We had a good onboarding yesterday as well with you and also Robert going through class, a part of class 1 last night as well. Our challenge is in full swing. Also, the practice week for starting Monday. So again, just a lot of great things going on. Very exciting time for Bearable traders, and I'm looking forward to the challenge next week. Again, it's very exciting with the point system too. So looking forward to that. All right, folks. So let's get into it. Let's look at some of this watches we had from yesterday. Let's start with AMD. And if you were with us yesterday morning, Norm, you saw our list did not look great at all. I mean, it was
No, it was not.
we were pulling teeth on the watch list yesterday. A lot of stuff did not look great. I recall putting AMD on here just because I wanted to have AMD. There was nothing else that looked good. And actually turned out to be a really good trade. As you can see here, came below VWAP and then just started taking off nicely and just never looked back. Some good ABCD patterns on here, kind of a false breakdown. And I took a few shots for a double bottom in here. Just my entries were not great. I got in here, got stopped out. Got in here again, took some out, and then got stopped out again. Then it finally did the move, but I just didn't want to attempt it for another try. I just left it alone. But if you were able to survive, look at this nice double bottoms on the one. If you were able to survive that, and I want to zoom in on the 5-minute chart because this is what I saw why I liked AMD. You can see here it does this bottom here, then it just starts doing higher highs and higher lows. See it right here? Just continues to not sell off anymore. I got stopped out way too early at 27.45. I should have put it at 27.40. That was a mistake on my part. I should have waited for a new low on the 5, and then look at this, just takes off nicely. So hopefully you took advantage of that. Gives you another opportunity here for a nice pullback to the moving averages, and then it takes off, cracking the high of the day. So beautiful trade on AMD. AKRX, this is one that was just, again, very choppy. Didn't do much, nothing to watch here. This is horrible trading. You see this type of action in the 5, you just stay away from this. Tesla's was good. Nice opening range breakdown. As you can see on here, starts selling off, pulls back to VWAP, and then it gives you this beautiful drop here after this. So again, a beautiful open range breakdown. This was a tough candle to trade though, because if you're in here short, if you didn't get a perfect entry, you would have stopped out when you saw this type of buying pressure, pushing you higher in this area here. So very tough to trade there. But then it goes for a real nice dump here. Look at this level we found in the daily, right? 265.16. Look how beautiful that trades right on back to that level. So that was nice. Couldn't hold it, and then drops right back down. MDSO also was one that was very tough to trade. Brian took a stab at this, and he got a nice entry in here early on, and then took it for the top up here, took some out, and then got stopped out for the rest. But then after that, it just became really tough, basically garbage to trade. This thing, the spread was bad, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was going to say is I was looking at it at the exact same time Brian was, and I was typing, watch out. And my finger was on the trigger to go ahead and go long in it. I look over, the spread's 45 or 50 cents.
Right.
And I'm typing, watch out for the spread on MDSO right when Brian's saying it looks like a long.
Yep.
And then I look over and the thing goes $3 in like a minute and a half. It would have been amazing, but the spread was just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what scared me out of this one as well. And I usually wait for the 5 minutes anyway. But it looks so strong, and when Brian got in, I was also thinking, oh, this could be good. But it's just, it was way out of my league, man. The spread was way too much. I couldn't take a risk on it. But again, it did this one move. This was the best move that it did right here. After this, I mean, this was pure chop. It held this 87 forever. It did not want to sell off of 87. And then you think you were going to get a squeeze, and it never came, right? At least not in the morning time, right? It never got a squeeze. I think later on it probably popped up a bit. Yeah, probably later on it popped up. But again, look at this 87 here. It's just a strong, whoever was sitting here just kept getting bought back up. Here's the squeeze that we saw live, actually. Here's the one. It did this small squeeze here. Then after that, just getting more chop around that 87 level. Roku did a nice pop in the morning, good opening range breakup, and then it kind of got a little funky. It was not easy to trade. The order flow was not clean. So although now it looks clean, we were watching this live yesterday. This was not a clean order flow here. Again, I think the previous day close was somewhere in this area yesterday, and it just kept like going under, above it. So it was just not easy to trade. We didn't find anything good out of this one. Now let's go to the monster CGC. CGC was amazing, also very good. Again, it goes below VWAP here. It finds some lows, finds some levels here. Look at this buying pressure right back up to VWAP. Again, this is not your entry signal. You're looking for this. Once you see that it goes above VWAP and it closes above VWAP, and the next candle continues to go higher, that's where you want to get in, because you know it's not just popping above VWAP and selling back down. Clearly, it's very strong. Goes right to the high of day, and then just never looked back after that. And it really gave you one chance for a pullback here really quick. This was the pullback you got, and then right back up again. So again, really strong stock yesterday. Again, hesitated at first, kind of did a little stutter step here, deciding what it wants to do, and then once it settled down, it really took off nicely. Look at the volume coming in right for this pop. So really nice. RHE also, again, had a good pre-market action. You can see on here, very nice, climbing up. It has one pop, really did. It was just one pop in the morning right here at the first candle, and then it's just kind of sold off, and then just became very choppy after that. Not predictable to find this pop here because you don't have the volume, right? The volume is not there, and in these type of stocks, you really want that volume to get good confidence to take a trade like that. UXIN also same thing, just sold off, really didn't do much. Nice double bottom here, but again, usually when these stocks are selling off, I just stopped looking at them. So I didn't really pay attention to this one. All right, so that was the list from yesterday. Again, it turned out to be a lot better than what it looked in the morning. In the morning, everything looked just really bad. Nothing seemed to be tradable. So let's get started with our gappers list in here. If you're joining us for the first time, we'll go over our gappers list. Then we'll look into our NASDAQ active, the top 10, and NASDAQ gains, top 10 as well. And then we'll see what we can find. Then I'll look into what you guys are watching, maybe something you're looking into, like Coca-Cola or any of the stuff that today will be doing earnings. So I know we got a lot of big companies reporting today or this morning. Let's start with Twitter. In here, Twitter is up 6.6. Let's get our charts in line. Not the cleanest pre-market action. And Twitter, I trade Twitter a lot. We traded in the past quite often. It can be very choppy, so we want to be careful with that. But today the volume is insane. 5.8 million shares traded so far. That is a huge number. And you can see here, look at this this daily chart. Doesn't look as clean. This is what I'm talking about, the chop here, right? So today, hopefully, we're going to get some days like this where it's actually in play, but it really chops around a lot. Doesn't give you a lot of good movements. That's what you don't see on our gappers list quite often, right? But today, definitely in play, has some volume, but it might be a stock you might want to wait for it to settle in. So let's see, how that 5 minutes at the open looks. We'll find some levels for this in a second. Snap is another stock that, again, also doesn't move much, but today it looks like it might be moving, like you mentioned earlier, just because Twitter is moving. So Snap, as you can see here, it is up 489,000 shares so far. Daily chart looks okay, right? Have this drop here, it's coming back up, making higher highs, higher lows here, I mean. So that looks decent on the daily chart. Could be possibly breaking out above this 12. We already tested it on the pre-market. Looks like 1197. So let's look at Snap. Next we have QCOM. QCOM has been very active the last couple of days. Just look at this here. After the news broke out, what is it? The deal with the back and forth with Apple, right? They kind of settled things. There were lawsuits between each other and blah blah blah. Now they made friends and they made up, and now look at this huge pop. We went from 57.50 all the way to 70 something, 72, and now we're just climbing higher. So they're moving them some really good news. from last week, and as you can see here, heading up towards 85. So this will be in play today. It looks very active at the moment. Has a okay pre-market action with some volume coming in. Next we have EDU. I don't think I've ever heard of EDU. EDU is New Oriental Education Technology. I don't think I ever heard of these guys. What do we have here? So EDU, not much volume, 122,000 shares right now at the moment. Daily chart looks a little funky. It is a nicey stock. We do have shares for short, and price action is really not there. This is not a good price action at all. So again, just not sure about this one. Let's look at the daily chart a little more, see what we got. When we do get volume, do we do anything? All right, we don't move much when we get volume. So we got some volume here, more than average, right? And it's not really doing much here. So not sure what to expect out of this one. I'm just gonna go over to our Benzinga. Again, if you're part of the community, you get access to Benzinga here. You can put in a ticker and see if any news is out. What do we got for EDU? I don't see anything. So not sure if this is one that's gonna be in play today, guys. This doesn't look good in the pre-market right now, and the volume is really not there. PG is popping up here. PG down 2.1. These guys are reporting today as well, right? Or at least they're scheduled, I believe. Procter and Gamble.
So yeah, I think that they reported this morning.
Okay, so these guys are down 2.1. Not much volume. 114,000 shares so far. Nicey stock. So let's see if it can get going. They tend to not be very active in the pre-market for the most part. Not a rule. Not saying that's always the case, but for the most part, we see that quite often. All right, so PG is down 1.9. 115,000 shares traded. Daily chart looks okay. I usually don't trade this one. For me, it's very choppy and hard to trade this stock, but we'll watch it today. We'll get some levels.
Yeah, it's heavily institutionally traded, which you find a lot on the NYSE. It's why they move that way. So it can be a beast to try to trade. It's just not worth it a lot of times.
Yeah, yep, I agree. That's what I see. Spread is horrible right now, 103.88 to 104.15. I mean, that will get better as the morning opens and it gets more volume. So we'll see how that goes. Let's take a look at our NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainer, starting with NBRX. Wow, selling off. Had a big day yesterday. Now it's just giving it all back, really. So I don't know if this is really going to be in play today. Look at this drop. This is why you don't hold anything overnight on these type of stocks. If you're a day trader, you know, take your profits and call it a day. If you caught some of this move yesterday. So giving it back there now. What is the float on this? Just curious. NBRX. 22. So it's not really low float, but it is a lower price. So just be careful. I don't see this one as something we would trade today. STNE has been pretty active over the last couple of days as well after it dropped here. Today's daily chart is interesting. It's at a point where it can possibly go back down and test this level here, 24.77 or so, whatever the low was from 2 days ago. Yeah, 24.82. But right now, pre-market action does not look great. This is the problem with STNE. Usually the pre-market action is usually not great. And really, I don't think it's in play. Look at this block trade. It's a perfect example of a block trade. Just 1.1 million shares popped in here. Actually, I'm just going to take a quick screenshot of this, guys, because this is good for lessons in the future. Quick screenshot. There we go. All right, so then so on here, as you can see, again, just really not in play. It's popping up because it's got 1.3 million shares traded here. It's down 1.8, but this is not something you want to trade, so we'll skip this one. TROV, as you can see here, is it's got some good volume, almost 1,000 shares traded at the moment. Has a few days when it has popped. So you got some here, you got one over here, huge sell-off here after it gapped up as well. We do got some levels already on here, so we'll watch this one. I believe this one does not trade well. We watched it before in the past. It can be very difficult to trade. Low flow, 2.4 million shares traded. So again, if you're just starting out and you're getting familiar just with this trading at all, you know, just avoid these low floats. Just avoid them. Stick to the mid and large. You can make some really good money, and you can be consistent in those stocks, right? We say a lot, if you do inconsistent process, if you're inconsistent with the stuff you trade, you're gonna have inconsistent outcome, and that's just the way it works, right? A lot of people are great with mid and large stocks, and they make their 150, 200 a day consistently. Then they see oh, this stock is moving, it's a low flow, and they go lose 600, right? So you just kill three to 5 days, maybe a week of profit. So just stay consistent with your profits. With your process, so you can have consistent outcome, right? That's very, very important. It's what we try to teach here. So Lyft is here on the most active Nasdaq active today. It looks like it's bouncing back. Has a good daily chart. Might want to get up to these levels here at 65. Got some moving averages building here. Lyft is finally seeing some light after being really. It's caught a beating the last since it's opened down, right? We're talking about opening at around 87 and down to 57. Whoever bought in here is hurting right now. So yeah, it has a good daily chart, but looking at our pre-market action, doesn't look too clean at the moment. So let's see. I'm interested to see how this goes. So let's put it on here. We don't have shares for short with CME. Do you have with IB on your end?
On Lyft?
Yep.
Yes. Let me see how many we have. 250,000 for IB.
Okay, so not much, quite a bit, but that could be gone at the open. AKTX is on here, up 18%, almost 400,000 shares traded so far. AKTX we have traded in the past, so this trade is actually very clean. You just gotta wait for the right setup. So this one we traded in the past. It's still a low float, 7 million shares float, but it does have some clean trading the few times I have traded. So we'll look at that one. AMD is up here. What is AMD up to today? Not much going on AMD, so we'll skip it. It has some volume, 313. That's usual for AMD. That's normal. But the pre-market action not showing us anything special today. ETF.
And it's kind of when you talk about like the tale of 2 days. When yesterday our gappers list, both of us thought it was it was very unexciting before the open.
Yep.
So you have these things as backups, AMDs, MUs, mine are Apple, Nvidia. But on a day like today, when you can be so picky and choosy, there's no reason to focus on things that might not be in play.
That's exactly it. Because we get that question a lot. So I'm glad you mentioned that about why do you watch MU? Why do you watch AMD? Well, let's look how AMD traded yesterday, and it was not a stock in play. The pre-market action was horrible. But if you were joining us earlier, look how it traded yesterday. This is a beautiful trading on AMD. You cannot ask for better than that on a day that our list was pretty much crappy, right? Look at this ABCD pattern. Look at these pullbacks. Look at following these moving averages. Just really, really clean trading. You got somewhat of a bull flag happening here around this level. Then you take off again. Just really clean. But yeah, on a day like today, that's your backup. You want to throw it on there. Wait for it to hit the scanners. Or if you see that your watch list is not doing anything, right? If you have your watches and nothing is moving, nothing is getting the volume, start switching those watches to some of the stuff that you like, that you normally trade. So that's a way to do it as well. All right, QCOM we have already. That was the last one on the Nasdaq active. Now let's look at our Nasdaq gainer. TORV again, also on here. Here we go. Very, very active. 1.1 million shares traded. Had a nice pop up here. Found some resistance at 472. We'll bring this down right there. And now it's trying to find a base around here on this moving average. So let's see how that develops. Again, this one doesn't trade as clean, so be very cautious if you're trading that today. IMUX, not much happening here. So you can see at the top, no volume, no activity. SCON, no volume. What we have here, AKTX, we have pretty much selling off though. This is not a good sign. If it sells off all the way down here, again, it just might not be in play, might not be strong enough to get back up. QTRH, no volume. Hasbrook also, I think, is on the list for reporting today as well.
Yep, they reported this morning.
Okay, excellent. So right now, horrible pre-market action, not much volume, but I'm going to throw it down here as a possible just to check in on it, see how it trades. It is up 15.8, so that's quite a bit. I do like that. Let's check out the daily chart. Again, daily chart is very nice here. We're going from 88 to above 100, 101. So that's a very nice pop. I'm sure some people this morning are very happy, but we don't want to be biased. It could be some profit taking it at the moment, at the open, or people just want to jump in as well. So let's see how that develops. ATOS actually, a horrible pre-market action, just cracking over 100,000 shares, but not really anything you want to trade. Just look at this pre-market action, right? Just very choppy all over the place. You do have some big order on here, which is a quarter of the of the volume this morning, and then the rest is just pure crap. Next we have Fork, F-O-R-K, no volume, and last, actually two more, TRVG, and then the last one, FAMI here, nothing happening. Okay, excellent. What are you guys watching on your end? What do you guys have that you like? Norm, anything exciting that you're keeping your eye on this morning?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things. Coca-Cola KO is one. It's got good volume and up 2.2%. Won't hit our list because of the ATR.
Okay, yep.
And then I've got LMT, which is higher price, but I'm going to take a look at it in a minute. And then HOG, HOG. So I'm going to keep an eye on those. There's very little volume in HOG right now, but they reported this morning, and we'll see if anything comes of it. It's backup for me.
Excellent. All right, so let's check these out. Yeah, so Hasbrook, we have KO as well. KO looks actually better than Hasbrook right now. This looks pretty pretty interesting. You know what? I'm going to throw KO up here as well. I think this is one to watch for sure. LMT, I like LMT also. It's got a good daily chart. A little higher price, but I'll put it on here as a possible. That's just as you mentioned. And HOG also as a possible as well. KO though, KO is I like the chart in KO.
KO's good, yeah.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. This should, again, guys, this should be on our gappers list in case you're wondering. But since the ATR's price is below 50 cents on average, right? Today's more. Today's moving is active, but on average, it doesn't move as much. You know, it's a very large cap. So usually the ATR is lower. All right, so TRVG got upgraded. So Stewart's giving us TRGV. I think we just looked at that, right? TRGV. Maybe
yeah, it's in your NASDAQ gainers right there.
Yeah, so they got upgraded, but right now I'm not seeing the volume. Something that we could look at hopefully in our scanners, but right now with so much in play up here, I want to keep my list on. We all want to keep our list on the stuff that we expect to be moving, that most of the traders are going to be trading this morning, right? Let's join whoever is in control, buyers or sellers. This could be one that we look at later on in the mid-morning. We have VZ. Is VZ Verizon, I think?
Yep.
All right, VC is also interesting. Again, just way too many already today that are going to be great. So this is where you want to be picky, guys. I mean, you really want to take the best of the best. You can't watch everything. But this one also looks good. So let's throw it on here, Scott. It's got okay volume, 175,000 shares traded so far. But it is down pretty much was green this morning and now it's down. So that's interesting. Daily chart is also very interesting here. We got some possible levels that it can go to. So let's keep rising on here. QCOM we have. What is QCOM doing? Seems to have a better pre-market action so far. Yeah, this is a very active pre-market action, at least from right here on. As you can see, more volume, nice flow. No volume, crappy, right? So that's why volume is so important. But yeah, QCOM is definitely in play today. We have, Twitter, I have QCOM. So Mr. Charts has Twitter, QCOM, and KO as the primary. I like that list. That looks very good. KO we have. Merengue is giving us WHR. WHR. Heard of this one before. Which one is this? WHR. Yeah, also looks good. Up 5%. The volume's not there though. Only 79. But the pre-market action is nice. Selling off pretty nice over here today. Again, it's gapped up 5%, but even more. Right, but it's just giving it all back now. So WHR is also interesting. But again, guys, just way too many. So I'm gonna be picking several ways. I'm going to look at price. I'm going to be picking on the price, stay within the range I like, between 20 to 80 to 100, right? I'm going to be picking that area just to make this list a little smaller. I'm going to remove stuff like Snap, right? I know Snap is choppy, so it's not going to be one of my ones to keep on here. So things like this is how you want to.
EDU is garbage.
Yeah, EDU is garbage, right? So even though it's down, look at this pre-market action is horrible. In fact, this does not deserve to be here. Let's delete this. There we go. And then we have let's look at AMRN. We're getting that here. AMRN. AMRN, it's got some volume, but again, look at this pre-market action. Just not great. In a day like today, maybe on a day like yesterday, we could watch this, but a day like today, yeah, you don't wanna see this. All right, excellent. All right, so let's make this list a little smaller. Again, you're go through your list and pick based on what looks good, and also be picky, right? Look at your price, look at all your criteria, and today's a day where you can actually be very selective. So Twitter, I like because of the volume. There's a lot of volume on here. I like the daily chart up 6.7. Let's remove these levels and get some fresh ones in here. We have high of the pre-market sitting at 37.99. Clean level down here as well. Towards the bottom, just going to mark this. I'm already looking at it. We have this one, 35.40, the high of a couple of days ago, and also on here as well, very close to it, 35.40. What do we have on the top? Towards the top, we got this high over here as well, 37.12. What else do we have? Anything else in this area? Right below the price action, we have 36.13. So I'm gonna mark that one as well. And then we have 37.94 as high as the pre-market. Then we have a gap. We have a possible gap right over here at 38.83. Just gonna mark that down in case we decide to do something. Now, looking at Twitter, this pre-market action does not look great. Again, it just looks very, very choppy. Look at this here. This is not clean, but it's got some volume. I'm going to look for this one to settle in. I'm going to wait 10 to 15 minutes and then see if it gives us an opportunity. If I find something better, I'll get rid of it. Now, Snap, my issue with Snap is that it tends to be very choppy. It doesn't move much, right? Even when it's in play. Today, it's got some volume, maybe because of Twitter's moving, not really because it's moving on its own. It looks like it's having some resistance here at 11.97. It's the high of the pre-market above. Look at this nasty daily chart. It's hard to find levels when you have a chart like this. 12.37 and then 12.63 all the way up here. So again, not one of my favorites. Towards the bottom, highs from 2 days ago, sitting right around the same area. Low of the pre-market, and then you also have the lows from the last 2 days. Actually, low of the pre-market is right over here, right below the previous day close. So not one of my favorites. I might drop this one off. QCOM is interesting. QCOM has been very good the last several days. Again, after we had this nice pop on some positive news, looking great. Let's see if we can get some levels here. High of the pre-market sitting at 84.22. We'll mark that down. Then towards the top, what do we have towards the top? Towards the bottom, we have plenty, but what do we have going back here? What do we have towards the top? I know this is not all-time high, is it?
You're just gonna have to go back a long while.
Oh, so it might not. Is it definitely 52? Oh, geez, yeah. This is. Yeah, I don't know how good this level is going to be going back to 99. Yeah. I don't. Again, don't. This is 52-week high, so again, it's more than 52-week high. It's probably 10-year high. Actually, yeah, 10-year high. Very close to it. So out above this 87.28, just to have that, let's mark down 92.33 and also 99.68 is the all-time high. These are very old levels, so don't put too much weight on them. I will put more weight on 85, 86, 87 on the whole dollar number on the way up here, because those levels are really old. But I guarantee you there's somebody else doing the same thing I just did, marking those levels just in case. So if enough people have those levels marked down, it can actually do something. All right, so QCOM looks good. Let's look at PG on here. What do we have for PG? So PG, again, just not looking too clean, not much volume. It is a higher price stock. I'm going to put some levels on here, but I'm probably not going to watch it. It's probably one I'm going to drop. Low of the pre-market sitting at 103.70. Below this, we have a couple of days consolidating around this 103. Again, this doesn't move much, right? Look at this, 103.26. Got some days in here. The spread's getting better. It was almost a plus 40 cents earlier. Now it's only 12, so it's getting tighter. That's good. Another one towards the bottom here, 102.80. Then towards the top, you have some levels in here consolidating, bouncing off this 104.24, and then we'll do one more towards the top. I think this was a good one here, 104.88. I am not going to watch this one. I think it's just we have better stocks in play, but we have some levels in case it hits our scanners. But I'm going to remove this one. Just not as clean as everything else I'm watching. Lyft is active, but the problem with Lyft is very choppy. The spread is nice today, though. Usually the spread is horrible on this stock. So let's get some levels in place. High of the pre-market, 63.05. Then we have another level possibly right in this area here. The 67 could be an area. And I'm going to mark down, because this thing could really move. I'm going to mark down this moving average hanging around 65.02. So let's mark that down as well. All right, so on KO, let's see what we got on KO. KO is very active, 414,000 shares traded so far, up 2.1. We have some levels. I'm going to remove, these are older levels, so let's remove these levels for now. Let's get some good ones. More recent, 49.37 high of the pre-market. We have clear level all the way up here, 49.93. Pretty much selling off after gapping up today. Then towards the, what else we have towards the top here? Oh, I like this level here. You got several days using it as support, and then these days over here using it as resistance. So that 48.71 is good. It's kind of sitting right at a level. You have this day popping up here. The price action is right on this right now. I'm not going to mark it because the price is there. But then towards the bottom, you have another one right in here at a 48.31. You have several days coming up hitting that, and then also in this area as well. So I do like that 48. I'm sorry, 35. No, sorry, what did I say? No, 48.02. 48.02. 48.35 is the price action now. So now, as you can see here below that, plenty of levels right in this area because you have several days consolidating. You have highs and lows, previous day close, all in between that 47.50 and 47. So do not need to mark any more on there. So I like KO pre-market action. It looks good. It has a nice pop to it, and then a nice drop here. So it's creating a good range. Verizon is interesting because it's just been selling off the entire pre-market. It's not gapping up much, gapping down much, less than 1%. But I'm going to, I'm probably going to watch this one. We have low of the pre-market 57.75. We'll mark that one down. They got a moving average coming in here as well, right between the low of the pre-market and this level, so we can watch out for that. We can actually mark that. That's fine. We have 57.57, so we'll mark that moving average. Below that, we have a very nice level here, low of 2 days ago. And then if we want to get just one more below it, just in case, 57.11. Then towards the top of the price action right now, sitting at 57.90, you got the previous day, 2 days ago high, previous day close, and then another high up here as well. So again, it's looking pretty weak right now, selling off. So let's see what it does. It's kind of wrapping itself around the previous day close at the moment. So all right, next we have TORV. I'm personally not going to watch this one. It is in play today. Again, it's got tons of volume. The issue with this for me is that it doesn't trade clean, so I'd rather not watch a stock like this. AKTX does trade a lot cleaner. Even the pre-market now is looking even better. Looks like it found a level at 485. I'm sorry, 386. It's got a level in here, bouncing back now, so that looks cleaner. Towards the top, high of the pre-market sitting at 510. What do we have in between? We have a level in here as well at 449, close to 450. Then towards the top, you got a 612. So beautiful pre-market action right now. As you can see, it has a nice pop. Sold off, found a bottom, found some kind of support within this 386, and now it's climbing back up. Let's see if we can get above this 449 and up to the 510. So this is a better pre-market action than that other one TORV was showing us. Let's look at some possibles. So Hasbrook right now, still no volume, but I do want to watch this one in case any of these are not looking great. I can tune into these here. KO I have at the top already, so we can take that one off. LMT, a swap possible for later also, and then HOG a possible as well. All right, folks. What else? Anything else you guys? Anything else that has popped up new that we like?
I'm not seeing anything myself.
Yeah, PG. I agree with you. Mr. Charts PG could be very choppy. That's why I took it off my list. I just don't like the way it's trading right now. Oh, Chris, the whole Carlos is going for Andrew this morning. It could be the green tea. I'm trying a new green tea. This thing's got some serious energy. Roku, let's see what Roku's doing today. Roku. Okay, that looks good. It's breaking out from this range. It's been chopping around the last couple of days. Again, it couldn't hold selling down lower than 56, and now it's coming back up. it's interesting. You know, I'm gonna put it down here as a possible, just in case my list doesn't take off. This could be one that we can watch. Tesla's making some moves. Let's look at Tesla. Yeah, I think, see, Tesla is definitely in play. I mean, it's got, again, you got this this levels is cracking down from, right? We saw it here. It left this level yesterday. Now you got this support coming up here. It looks like it's about to leave it as well. And then you got a possible area target down here, down as low as 254. So I think Tesla is also good pre-market action. It's got some volume, but since it's a higher price and I got so many to watch, I'm not going to throw this one on my list because we just can't watch everything. Just way too much today. WHR also, this one's also in play, guys. I don't have it because again it's a higher price stock, so I'm just gonna be a little bit picky on what I watch because it's just a lot of things that is moving today. So Twitter so far, Snap 1 2 3 4 5 6, QCOM, Lyft, KO. I'm gonna take Lyft off. I don't like the way this one trades anyway. I'll take that one off. Let's see what else we have. STNE we looked at already. Hasbrook, you know what, I'll throw Hasbrook up here in place of Lyft. Hasbrook definitely has is a stock in play today. We just got to get a little more volume. We have 103 high of the pre-market, low of the pre-market sitting at 92.22. And then what else we have in here? We have a 178, slightly above the price action. Then below it, what do we have? Not clean levels in here, but I'm gonna mark down this one over here. You got 97.41. You got several days using it as support in this area, resistance here, support again, resistance again. So it's kind of this line here, but it just seems to kind of be consolidating around it, right? Banging the head on it and then selling off. So that 97.41 is nice. It's pretty flat right now, Hasbrook, right? It's pretty flat, but it is up 13.5. So I expect that we're going to get some movement out of it today. So I think it'll be good to watch, see how that develops in the morning. So what else? CGC. Let's see what CGC is up to. Had an amazing day yesterday. Had a beautiful day yesterday. Just slightly up, selling down a little bit in the pre-market action. Again, another one that we can look at later on. Had such a big day yesterday. I do expect for it to move today one way or the other. Just taking those levels off. Right now, the price action sitting towards the bottom. Previous day close, previous high from 2 days ago. Towards the top, we have this one here in the 49.84. We have another level up here around 50, 52, and then this one all the way up here, 51.74. Seems like it's selling off a bit now. And then see, here's what happens when you have this type of daily chart. It's not clean, right? You can find levels here, here when it's doing this, but in here, very difficult to find levels because it's just pure chop, right? So how do you determine which level is great in this situation? So I'm gonna try to find the cleanest thing possible. 46.86 looks like we have some days closing and opening around that area. You have several days bouncing off from here, in here as well. Resistance, 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 support, and then support in these two areas. So not the greatest, but at least you have something on there that you can possibly aim towards. Selling off now, heading down towards the previous day close. It's got okay volume, not great, but I'll have that set up as a possible. What is Roku up to? Roku's daily chart looks really good. I like Roku's daily chart. Let's get some levels in here towards the top, 62.02. Then we have a level in here, 60.78, very close to the price action now, as you can see on there. Towards the bottom, I'm just going to mark down the low of the pre-market. Then below that, you should have plenty of levels already, highs and lows and previous day close. So yeah, Roku looks good on the daily chart. Had two strong days, the last trading day, yesterday and Friday. So let's see if we can get some continuation, crack above that 60.78. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think this is more than enough. Look at Twitter here selling down. Twitter's volume is crazy. When you have this type of volume, guys, be careful at the open because things can be very choppy with so much volume. It's just gonna be crazy. So be careful taking long or short. In that first 5 minutes, it's gonna be it could be so volatile if it doesn't pick a direction. QCOM's good pre-market action. I like this one. KO is great. Verizon is good. Hasbrook's not the cleanest pre-market action, but I do like the daily chart, and they're up quite a bit. And then AKTX as a possible for the low floats. All right, folks. So that is all I have. Norm, you want to give us an insight on what's happening tonight?
Yeah, so Brian and I live stream on YouTube Live. We're going to have an Ask Me Anything session at 9 p.m. Eastern, so come see us. It's kind of a similar format to the Lifetime webinars. Probably won't be diving as deep into charts as we usually do, specific trade kind of stuff that we usually do. But anyway, it's up to you guys. Ask me anything. Almost anything with Brian and myself this evening. And then also I wanted to point out for you, those of you that catch us every morning, the YouTube pre-market show, if you have not been in the chat room and you want to come give it a shot, just see what the live trading during the day is like. It's usually $49 for a 2-week trial. But if you use the promo code PREMARKET24, it's PREMARKET24, all one word. For the to get the trial, it'll cut it down to $24. So you can try out the room, trade with us, watch us trade live in the room.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, good point, Merengue. You got some stocks that are reporting losses in their earnings. They're gapping up, and that's normal. That's why holding through swing trades to earnings season. Brian will tell you about that. You just never know. You could have positive earnings and gap down, and you can have negative and gap up. You just never know. This is why also today when we look at these stocks, we're not going to have a short bias. We're not going to go into Twitter long just because it's up this morning or they had great earnings. Let's look at the price action, right? We're technical traders. We're going to look at the price action, see what is giving us, and then make a decision based on that. All right, folks, so that is my list. Brian should be hopping on in a second. We'll see what else changes here. And then if anything changes, I'll make adjustments to my list. But this is a day where you want to be picky. It's a lot that's moving. So again, just don't watch more stocks just because. Stick to the number that you like to watch, whether it's 4, 3, or 6. And then if something on your list is not moving, you can always switch it over to your possible list like I have down here. I have quite a few possibles actually in this area. So it's good to have that backup. All right, folks, take care. Have a great trading day today. Trade safe. Also, one more thing, Andrew is traveling this week. So if you're not seeing recaps or you're not seeing him in the chat room, if you're joining us for the first time, he's traveling this week. He's in India. There is a meetup happening on the 26th. Let me just get the information on here. So meetup happening on the 26th in India. So I'll send over the link in a second on YouTube. You do not have to be a member if to join the meetup. If you're in the area in India, Goa, India, I think is where he's going to be at. You can definitely join him on the 26th. This coming on 26th. All right, guys, take care and have a great day. See you guys soon.